Hello everybody, let's talk some Bundesliga 2 action because with 3 rounds to go of the season there is still everything to play for. Promotion, the title, the promotion playoff, relegation is still not confirmed with the exception of Ingolstadt who are going down, so there's still everything on the line, and this weekend there's some massive games coming up, so it's worth taking a look at the run-in, the next 3 games this weekend, and see where we are at. Let's begin with Werder Bremen, because at the moment they are top of the standings as things stand. They're on 57 points with 3 games to go. They're a point above Schalke following their 4-1 victory last weekend away in Gelsenkirchen as well. Talk about making a statement. They went through 3 games on the trot, draws, and then they head over to Gelsenkirchen and pick up a 4-1 victory away at Schalke. A formidable result, and Werder Bremen, rightfully, thanks to that result, they are top of the table, 1 point above Schalke 04. Both teams looking to go up into the Bundesliga automatically. So it's Werder Bremen 57, Schalke 56. Third spot at the moment is taken by Darmstadt, and they are on 54 points. So a couple behind Schalke and 3 points behind Werder Bremen. The thing about Darmstadt is, I was speaking with some Darmstadt fans before the St. Pauli game last weekend, and they said if we lose to St. Pauli, that's it. Season's over. We're not going to get, we're not going to continue fighting for promotion. But they went over to St. Pauli, scored 2 goals in 30 minutes, 2 brilliant goals in 30 minutes. If you get a chance to see the highlights, and then they go on to park the bus for the remainder of the game. And St. Pauli, they push, playing at home. They managed to get one in the end, but one's not enough. Darmstadt win 2-1, and all of a sudden, Darmstadt now 3rd spot. They're in the they're in the promotion playoff spot, which means if they finish there, they have to play the 3rd from bottom in the Bundesliga for a chance to play in the Bundesliga next season. Nevertheless, they want to finish. If they want to finish 3rd, they do have half decent running, you have to say. We'll go through it in a bit, but yeah, Darmstadt are 3rd at the moment, 54 points. St. Pauli on the back of that defeat to Darmstadt. They're now 4 games without a victory, St. Pauli. They're down to 4th spot. They've got 53 points on the board at the moment. That's 1 behind Darmstadt, 3 points now behind Schalke in 2nd. 5th place at the moment belongs to HSV, Hamburg SV. Don't count Hamburg SV yet. They are in 5th spot. Now, we all know Hamburg, they've been trying to get up back into the Bundesliga for about 3 or 4 years now. And every single time, when it gets to this period of the season, April, May, they falter. They choke. This season, though, they finally managed to win their first game in April for about 3 or 4 years. And they're 5th at the moment. 3 wins from 4. They've got 51 points on the board, which is still 2 behind St. Pauli, 3 behind Darmstadt, who are in 3rd. And don't forget, 3rd place is the one that they'll probably be aiming for. There's no chance they could catch up to Schalke. Nevertheless, they've got a good run in Hamburg SV. And we know they falter. We know no matter who's in their way. I think we all remember the famous defeat to Sandhausen when Dennis Diekmeyer scored, of all people, to stop Hamburg from challenging for promotion a couple of years back. But we will see. We'll go into Hamburg's run in a second. But 6th place, we still can't count them out yet, despite what happened last week. Nurnberg, 6th place, 50 points on the board so far. 4 points behind Darmstadt in 3rd. 6 points behind Schalke. With 3 games to go, still 9 points, on offer. Could they do it? Well, the thing that makes me believe they could is they still have to play some of their opponents in that top 6. So you can't count them out yet. So we're going to feature them in this video for now. So Werder Bremen, let's begin with them. Top of the table as things stand. They play Kiel first of all at home, who are 11th currently in the table. Kiel, they're a difficult team. They have only lost 1 from their last 5. And Werder Bremen are playing at home, so they will be the big favourites. But Kiel are never straightforward, as it may seem. They do concede quite a lot of goals, especially this season, but that'll be an interesting one. Second game for Werder Bremen is Erzgebirge Aue on the week after, playing away. Erzgebirge Aue fighting relegation in 17th, so that could be, that's not straightforward as well. Erzgebirge Aue are fighting relegation, which means they won't be giving up the points that easily, unless, of course, Erzgebirge Aue falter in their game this weekend, which means they could already be relegated. It's hard to say at this as things stand. Werder Bremen, of course, will be massive favourites going into that one. And then Werder Bremen finished the season at home against Regensburg, who are 10th at this point in time, haven't won in 4 straight games. But if anybody watched their game against HSV last weekend, you have seen Regensburg. How on earth? I can't remember correctly whether they took the lead or not, but the first 10 minutes they absolutely dominated the game. They should have been 4, if not 5-0 up now. Let's face it, HSV really let them in. HSV were incredibly poor in that first 10 minutes, but Regensburg should have been all over them. They weren't. But that is the run at the end of the day for Werder Bremen. So it's Kiel, Erzgebirge Aue, and Regensburg. Not a bad running at all for Oli Werner's side. You have to favour them now to go on and win the title with a run like that, because Schalke, who are in second spot as things stand, they kick off next weekend. They're running against Sandhausen away from home. Now Sandhausen 14th place. They really impressed at the weekend when they beat Nurnberg. I'll just check the scores. It's just popped out of my head for a second. Sandhausen 4-2. That's right, won that game. I was in an Irish pub watching the conference, which you get all 3 games at the same time, and they just basically go from one to the other, a bit like Soccer Saturday but with video, and it kept going back to the Sandhausen game, and some of the resilience they showed away against Nurnberg. They're fighting against relegation. They need a win. Nurnberg obviously doing quite well as well. For Sandhausen to go there and win 4-2, very, very impressive. So Schalke will have problems, especially after that defeat to Werder Bremen. I'm not counting out Sandhausen from that game at all. And then Schalke go, they're playing at home against St. Pauli in Gelsenkirchen. St. Pauli, as we mentioned before, 4th place. They're fine for promotion still, but they're in a bit of bad form. But you have to say they played quite well the second half against Darmstadt. Despite losing that game, St. Pauli looked good. So Timo Schultz's side, if they can finally find the back of the net on a more regularly, Schalke could find themselves in trouble. And then Schalke, the final game of the run is against Nurnberg away from home. Now we know Nurnberg lost to Sandhausen, but still, I have a feeling that Nurnberg are not out this yet. That was a disappointing game last weekend against Sandhausen, but don't count them out yet. And that could be an interesting one come the end of the season. If Nurnberg pick up a couple of good results before then, that game against Schalke then becomes all important, and you never know. So Schalke, I would say, harder running than Werder Bremen. You'd expect Werder Bremen to go on and clinch first. Do you expect Schalke to clinch second? I wouldn't be so sure, because Darmstadt, who are in third, they're taking on Erzgebirge Aue as well. That's their game this weekend. They're playing at home against the team in 17th. Darmstadt have got a lot of confidence going now, because after their two back-to-back defeats, they've bounced back now against St. Pauli. They look good. Could they go out and pick up all 3 points at home against Erzgebirge Aue? They should do. We know that Aue are fighting against relegation, but that'll be an interesting encounter. After that, they go away to Dusseldorf, who are in 13th, don't really have much to play for, and then they finish the season at home against Paderborn, who also don't have that much to play for. I mean, they're 7th. Can they really get up to 3rd? It's mathematically possible, but realistically unlikely. So Darmstadt, I'm looking at these 3 games and thinking, if Darmstadt can put on the sort of performance they did against St. Pauli, I don't see why they can't pick up all 9 points here, or at least 7 points, 2 wins and a draw from those last 3 games. It'll be interesting to see where Darmstadt end up at the end of these three matches. But they could give Schalke a real run for their money for 3rd place. St. Pauli then, next. They're 4th at the moment, and they're running, I have to be honest with you, doesn't look easy at all. Timo Schultz has got his work cut out. They start off against Nurnberg this weekend. We mentioned before, Nurnberg is 6th, still fighting for the top 3. Then they play Schalke away from home. Spoke about Schalke, tough game. And then Dusseldorf, as we said, they haven't got much to play for, but, playing at home. St. Pauli, we'll see how they get on. They're not in good form at the moment, are they, St. Pauli? So an interesting way to finish. Those 3 games are not easy at all, and Timo Schultz will be thinking, if we can't pick up at least 4 points from Nurnberg and Schalke, we could be in trouble here. They've had such a good season. Not to finish in the top 3 would be a major disappointment, but the competition, as we can see, is absolutely fierce. Next, we go across the city of Hamburg to HSV. Can HSV finally finish in the top 3, because the last 3 or 4 seasons they've not managed that? Can they at least grab a playoff spot for promotion? at the very least, well, to be fair, looking at their games, well, first of all, they play Ingolstadt away from home. Ingolstadt already relegated. Surely, I mean, Tim Walter will be looking at this game going, if we don't beat Ingolstadt, that is it. They have to win that one. Then they play in Hanover, who are currently in 15th place, completely out of form, aren't they? Hanover having a dreadful season. They still need a couple of points to ensure that they don't have to play in a relegation playoff game. But you fancy HSV to win that one. But again, we say that every year when it comes to this sort of time of the season. Hamburg never deliver in the final few games. Can they finally change that? I mean, they've won 2 in a row now. They've won 3 from 4. Is this a sign of the thing? Times changing for Hamburg. We will see. They were very disappointed in that DFB Pokal against Freiburg when they lost 3-1. They were 3-0 down after 30 minutes. But they showed a bit of fight against Regensburg, and they got a bit lucky at the end, with the penalty and the late goal as well. But Hamburg are not ones to count out just yet. They're still fighting for it, and Tim Walter was giving a press conference today. He still says, it's still all to play for. And by the way, they finish away in Rostock, away from home. Wow, what a place that would be for Hamburg. Imagine if they would beat Rostock to clinch a place in the top 3. That would certainly be something. Nurnberg, lastly, 6th place. They need 9 points. Let's make no bones about it. They need 9 points. They play against St. Pauli away from home this weekend. Kiel away from home. 2 tough away games. And then Schalke at home to end the season. Looking back at that performance against Sandhausen, you doubt that Robert Klaus's side can pull it off. But you never know. Nurnberg could be an interesting one. That game against St. Pauli will be huge this weekend. If they don't win that one, that is it. But if they do, if they go to the Millantor and pick up all 3 points, that will be something. That will throw the spanner in the works of this top 3 race. But it's certainly hotting up when it comes to the fight for promotion up to the Bundesliga. With regard to the relegation, we know Ingolstadt are going down. They're going to be playing 3rd-tier German football next season. Erzgebirge Aue are still fighting. They're in 17th. They've got 23 points. Dynamo Dresden are above them as things stand. They're on 30 points. And Hanover on 36 points. All 3 teams have 3 games to go. Hanover play against Karlsruhe, HSV and Ingolstadt. With the exception of that HSV game, and to be fair, that Karlsruhe game looks challenging as well. But if they can get a draw against Karlsruhe, perhaps they could fight out a draw against HSV. If not, I don't think it's a problem, because last game is against Ingolstadt, a game they should win. So Hanover should be safe for next season. If they're not, though, Dynamo Dresden could threaten. They're 6 points behind at the moment, so you'd feel they need at least 7 or 9 points to challenge. They play against Regensburg, first of all. A winnable game, considering Regensburg faltered against HSV in the fashion they did. It's possible. Karlsruhe, tough ask, but again, possible for Dynamo Dresden away from home. And then at home against Erzgebirge Aue, which, if depends on how Aue get on, that could be the game that decides relegation. Speaking of Aue, if they beat Darmstadt away from home this weekend, and if they beat Werder Bremen at home, very unlikely, but if they do, that game, as we said before, against Dynamo Dresden away from home becomes huge. But can we really see them beating Darmstadt, who are fighting for promotion? Unlikely. Can we really see them beating Werder Bremen, who are fighting for the title? Very unlikely again. Can they beat Dresden at least to finish the season on a positive note? You never know. That'll be an interesting one to finish the campaign. But as things stand, Ingolstadt and Erzgebirge Aue will be going down, looking at this run-in. And Dynamo Dresden, it appears they'll be playing in the playoff. Hanover should be safe, considering they've got 36 points now on the board. But you never know. Bundesliga 2, for the last few years, has proven to be a lot more entertaining, dramatic, impressive than the first tier in the Bundesliga. I mean, the jokes you might remember during the emergence of the European Super League. People are laughing in Germany. You don't need the European Super League. You just need to tune into Bundesliga 2 because there's so many great clubs: Werder, Bremen, Schalke, Hamburg, St. Pauli, Nurnberg, on and on and on. Hanover, Dynamo Dresden. So, as things stand, this is the division to watch. And, if Werder Bremen and Schalke go up, it'll be pretty sad because, and Dynamo Dresden, let's say, go down. That'll be pretty sad because it'll be the end sort of an era, of an incredible few years campaign in the Bundesliga 2. But we'll still have some, I'm sure Hamburg will somehow manage to falter at the end of the line, St. Pauli as well. So we'll still have some big clubs left in this league. But for now, that was the Bundesliga 2 running. And we'll have to catch up, see how things go after these next 3 weeks. Who knows? If things turn out, if things take an interesting twist, we might be even back before that. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, cheers.